before season starts. I got this neighbor, Ryan Ermanni. Mm-hmm. Guy's name is Chase. Older gentleman. I believe he's.
What's up, Chase?
I believe he's married. I want to say his wife is no longer with us, but he's a Michigan State guy. And he didn't talk very much in the neighborhood for the first couple of years that he was there. Not a lot of conversation. Just walked his dog, golden retriever. That was about it, all you saw out of him. But as Michigan State's getting wins over Michigan, you see the flag come out on the porch a couple of years ago. Then you see him talking when they go 11-3 with K9. And now this year before the season, I asked him, what do you think about his Michigan State Spartans, before the season started? Oh, man, they're going to have another wonderful year. I said they're going to beat Michigan again. I didn't even ask him about the Michigan game, but just asked him about the Spartans. Yeah, they're going to have another tremendous year. They'll beat the Spartans. They'll beat Michigan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you sure they're going to beat Michigan without K9? You sure they're going to be good with this young offensive line? Are you sure that the transfer portal will work? Yeah, because Tuck coming. That's what the guy told me. He was very, very vocal before the season. Even vocal after the first 2 weeks, the Western game and the Washington game. And the Kent State game. But you know what, Ryan Ermanni? In the last 5 weeks, Chase hasn't said anything to me.
No.
I haven't been seeing any Michigan State shirts from Walmart. I don't even see the flag flying outside of his house anymore. Mm-hmm. But that's what Michigan State does. When it's going good early, they're all in. But then as it's not going so well, you start to see them disappear. They don't start to go out anymore. Even when Michigan was getting their ass kicked for 10 years, I still was wearing my Michigan stuff. Very proudly, I just was pissed the hell off. But not Michigan State. Hey, Chase, where you at?
You know what Chase needs, Tom Mazawey, as we say good afternoon to you?
What up, brother?
Chase needs a T-shirt that says, let me know when he gets
That's
here.
All I'm saying.
WoodwardSports.com. Go to the shop page, and you can pick out that item or over 100 items on the Woodward.
121 to be exact.
121 different items on the Woodward Sports shop. I spent some time there today, and I had a good time. Spent a lot of money, actually. And it was fun. It was great.
So not only did you steal, you know what time it is. You stole, let me know when he gets here.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I don't make a lot of the comments you say.
I make a lot of the comments you say better.
That's just what it is.
I don't think so, though.
Hey, I want to get to this. Tom, you good today, by the way?
I'm great. I'm just sad that there's no baseball on right now.
No.
I was
happy.
actually looking for it before.
Yeah.
I'm happy there's no baseball on when we're on right now. It's happening at 4:30. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to say this. So there are those times that people walk in and out of your life, and you kind of forget who they are, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've lived this incredible life and all that stuff. Yesterday. Last night, Braylon Edwards, I was on social media. Something I'm not a lot, believe it or not. Like, I'll post something, see how we do, whatever the case may be, get in, get out. Yeah. I saw on my Instagram feed last night, Braylon Edwards posted a video of his days with the New York Jets. I totally forgot. Now, I didn't forget. I knew. But I forgot how freaking good a player you were. Like, I don't think I do anything in my life as good as you played football. Like, think about the best skill that you as a human being have. If it's a chef, if it's a driver, if it's a construction worker, whatever it is your skill is, a computer engineer, we will do nothing in our lives as good as you caught that friggin' football, man.
Well, I disagree because I think you're a better friend than I was a football player.
Yeah, fine. Great. I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. And, the good thing about it, I really appreciate that love. It just goes and comes so quick.
Damn.
Like, it came and went. It's over. It's as I was in that stadium this past weekend, as I was in MetLife, and I was just remembering, I was instantly, as I'm walking out of the tunnel, I felt like it was 2010 again. I felt like I was going out to play the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night, or I was going to play Green Bay. Like, it just felt like it just happened. Mm-hmm. And then you look back and you realize, man, that's 12 years ago.
Right.
Like, where the hell did 12 years go?
It's insane. In one of the videos, Maz, you'll appreciate this. It's a Monday Night Football game, and Al Michaels, there's Edwards, and he stretches in. Touchdown, Jets, or whatever the case may be. Touchdown, Braylon Edwards. And you just, when you don't see something for 12 years, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where you just forget sometimes.
Now he's just our guy that says I told you.
Right. Now he's merely our good friend, Braylon.
That's it.
I love being a former football player saying I told you so. But the good thing I will say is this, man, and the humble thing I will say is this, and my mom will be appreciative, is, you got to thank God. God gave me the ability to play in the NFL, play in college. He gave me the ability to play with some tremendous people. I mean, Nick Mangold, although I hate the hell out of Ohio State, so much respect for him. He's going into the Ring of Honor this year. Darrelle Revis is going into the Ring of Honor for the Jets this year. DeBrickashaw Ferguson is going into the Ring of Honor this year. We had Josh Cribbs on the show. We had Damian Woody on the show. Mike Tannenbaum, Brady Quinn. Like, it's the football stuff was fun, but the people I met along the journey was way better than the actual journey itself. It's the people you meet along the journey.
It is just incredible.
All glory be to God.
I mean, be that good at anything. I wish I was that good at anything.
Don't sell yourself short now.
No, I understand, but you just it's remarkable.
Hey, I'm as good as he was, but I'm good at watching TV.
Yeah,
that's what I'm good at.
What?
You are an expert professional television
Speaking of
watcher.
watching TV, talk about your Yankees yesterday, man.
Oh, man, they got away. They're fine. They're not great.
Yeah.
Cleveland's a good, scrappy team. They really can't score a lot. Yankees, I think, escaped early. Garrett Cole's is not my guy. He's just not my guy. 8 strikeouts, 4 hits. Congratulations, 6 innings. He's just not a.
What makes Garrett Cole not your guy?
He's not a Yankee. You just know. He's just not a Yankee. He's not. He's not a Yankee.
What I would say is, one, it was good to see the rest of the New York Yankees show up. Aaron Judge goes 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. It was good to see that Rizzo still was on the team. It was good to see Donaldson. And even for Garrett Cole, I kind of understand what you're saying. I think we get to see more of people through social media and videos and Twitter, et cetera. So you get to see their personalities a little more, because I guarantee there are a lot of Yankees that you probably would have hated if you had this much access. But with that being said, what I loved about Garrett Cole's been trying to overpower everybody all the time. And sometimes throwing that 102-mile-an-hour fastball hasn't worked for him. You saw what he did in that game? Off-speed pitches. He had 4 curve strikeouts, he had 3 sliders, and he had 1 changeup. So to see him going from trying to overpower everybody, to see him dropping the off-speed pitch, that's going to make Garrett Cole that much dangerous in the postseason.
Yeah, and Garrett Cole, aside, and Anthony Rizzo hit a home run yesterday. That was just a really good
Harrison
signing.
Bader's a great player.
He is. St. Louis
I'm so happy they got him.
St. Louis Cardinals. It's guys like that help you win a championship. There's no doubt about it. But the one thing in watching baseball, and I'm glued to this baseball yesterday like it was nobody's business.
Was there anything better than the Astros-Mariners?
Every friggin' pitch is magnified. Every single last pitch. And I don't know how many people locally here turned on TBS to watch the Astros and the Seattle Mariners game. That was as an exciting a 7th, 8th, 9th inning as you will find in 2022.
Can I make a suggestion based off what I saw? My World Series stands as this. I am now going with the Astros, and I'm staying with the Braves. I understand the Braves lost, but what you saw in the 9th inning, or the 8th and 9th inning out of the Braves, is called championship pedigree. It's called championship pedigree. What you saw out of the Astros against the Mariners in a game that looked like it was all for naught, it looked like the Astros maybe couldn't be the team this morning in the playoffs. The Astros showed you championship resolve, and the players came to play in the playoffs. Astros, Braves, book it.
Astros, Dodgers.
Astros won the series last night. I mean, it was that simple, and I think Scott Service knew it. Mariners overmanaged like crazy. I mean, Scott Service, he's got his reliever in there trying to close out the game. 2 on, 2 out, and he brings in, Robbie Ray, Cy Young winner, great, but it
never closed the game.
I mean, comes on in relief. He's a starting pitcher to try to get 1 out. It's just an incredible move. It's an over-managing, and it loses you series. And if you even look at the splits from Yordan Alvarez, he actually hits lefties pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's not some situation. He overmanaged in that moment, and it cost his team a game. and certainly the game, but probably the series now because of it. I don't know how you come back
Best
from
of
that.
5, you don't come back from that.
Up 4 runs in the 8th
Twice.
inning.
Up 4 twice.
Up 4 in the 8th inning, though.
Yeah.
That's really one that gets you. And one of the things about that, Bray.
You see the fans?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking
They
about.
can't watch.
Yep.
And that's how you feel.
Uh-huh.
When it's your team, that's how you feel. You live and die on every pitch. I know us in Detroit, we haven't had that. But you know what? I've been watching throwbacks to the Tigers in 06 and 12 and the playoff runs that they've had and how great those crowds at Comerica were. And, man, this is a real baseball town. They love their team, and they haven't been in it since 8 years, man. Once it comes back, you guys will love talking baseball again, I promise you.
But you talk, Braylon, and we talk about sports fans in general and the agony that we feel, the excitement that we feel with our sports teams. I thought TBS did an incredible job last night capturing the moment and the scope of how big these pitches were. And to show fans that can't even watch, they pay all that money for the game, for tickets to the game, and they can't even watch.
See, the good thing about the playoffs, and I think this is where it gets magnified, Ryan, Ermanni, and Maz, is during the season, you don't have the best guys calling necessarily all the games. You just have guys calling games. When you get to a situation where it's the playoffs, now you got the best guys bringing you in, the best commentators, the best analysts that are taking you on the ride, that are taking the fans on the journey. When you're sitting on the couch and you're not from Seattle or you're not from Houston and you're sitting there and just dialed in and locked in every pitch, that's because the analysts and commentators, which Maz, you love so well, they do such an amazing job once the postseason comes
Brian
around.
Anderson
killed it last night.
He killed it. Then you got Bob Costas, who doesn't kill it.
I'm not a Bob Costas
I never
guy.
was a Bob Costas guy.
What?
Never was.
You don't like
Never.
real sports?
I like
joking.
that kind of stuff, but play-by-play, I'm not
He's a studio guy.
Yeah, Ron Darling is great in the analyst chair, but Brian Anderson, way easy over him.
We're going to talk to Dave Birkett coming up, hour number 2, top of the hour, coming up here in about 45 minutes or so. We'll talk some Lions, also get into college football. There's a big game on the college schedule this week that I want to tell you about. There's a couple of them, but one in particular I'm going to call an upset special on.
Is this game not a Big Ten game?
It is not a Big Ten game, and it involves one of my favorite players in college football.
I keep it zip.
I'm going to go for the upset in that game. I also want to talk about this. Steve Kerr addressed Draymond Green's the crisis, as it were. You'll hear what he has to say. You'll hear what the punishment is, and does the punishment fit the crime? Plus more on Davante Adams. You'll be shocked to hear this. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Yes, sir. Chili Peppers Tanning, 27 locations, more on the way. And if you get to the Chili Peppers Tanning and join the Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning and more. Don't forget all those tanning lotions that they have in the store. You got to get in there. The cleanest salons in the D, and it's homecoming time now for your youngsters. They want to start looking good for all their dances. So Chili Peppers Tanning is the place for you. The best deals, the hottest deals, the greatest tans, the darkest tans, your vitamin T headquarters. You're looking at it, chilipepperstanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
My name is Lee. I've lost 35 pounds on the Custom Health Center program. So the 3 biggest benefits that I've gotten from this program has been I'm not snoring anymore, I have a lot of energy, it's great, and oh, by the way, look at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991, Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in a home? Well, guess what? I got the perfect person for you. It's my guy, Michael Phillips. Michael Phillips has been doing this for 23 years, and simply put, he's number one in the game. Like I said, whether you're willing to buy, whether you want to sell, whether you want to learn the market, learn what's going on in the residential areas, and go to my man Mike Phillips. He will get you right. Go to 313-403-001. Game on.
Look at that. Absolutely. Check out Mike Phillips and everybody that is a partner here with Woodward Sports. We certainly appreciate it. WoodwardSports.com. Get in the Woodward Sports chat. We certainly appreciate those comments. We'll check some of those out as we move forward. Some news today, news last night, really, regarding Draymond Green. We all saw the video. I don't believe we can show the video of the punch, but we can show the video of Steve Kerr talking about the discipline or lack thereof, Braylon Edwards, coming up here, of Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors. Here's the head coach, Steve Kerr.
I'm going to get right to the Draymond situation, and I'll address that, and then we can talk about the game. He is going to come back to practice on Thursday. He's been fined. He will not be suspended. I expect him to play Friday in our last preseason game and on opening night. We have spent the last week in deep discussions with all of our key figures in the organization, including Jordan and Draymond, of course, staff, all of our players, Bob, myself. And I can tell you there have been a lot of conversations, individual, one-on-one discussions, players-only discussions, everything that you can think of, all the different combinations that are possible and to have in a conversation. We've had them. It's been an exhaustive process. We feel like we have a great feel for our team. We've got a lot of continuity on this team, so Bob and I know our players extremely well. We feel like this is the best way, after assessing everything, for us to move forward. It's never easy. No matter what decision you make in a situation like this, it's not going to be perfect. This is the biggest crisis that we've ever had since I've been coach here. It's really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I have definitely made our share of mistakes over the years. We're going to lean on.
First of all, I got to say shout out to my man Tom Mazawey for finding us a copy that we could show on the show. A lot of copyright infringement as it relates to it. The NBA owns that content, so good job by you, Maz.
Fletch and I together.
Appreciate you guys both on that. And watching this, I think they got it wrong on this. I think they got it wrong, and this is why I say they got it wrong. First of all, the video got leaked. Now, whoever leaked the video, go find him, be mad at him, get rid of that person, etc. But it did get leaked. If it doesn't get leaked, we're not sitting here having this conversation. But the video got leaked. And what I saw in that video is you saw a guy. Keep in mind, I played one of the most physical, actually the most physical sport that you can play. We hit every day in practice. During the season, you hit the opposite. You hit guys on your team. Whether it's me going against Darrell Reavers, whether it's me going against Kerry Rose, whether it's me going against, and the list goes on. We're hitting it, and sometimes it gets a little extra physical, and you want to get up and fight and do it. Never have I been in a fight with one of my teammates. Now, I know this stuff happens. You can go back to P.J. Carlesimo and Latrell Sprewell. As ugly as that thing got, he actually choked his coach.
Geno Smith.
You can go back to Geno Smith and the linebacker who from the New York Jets. You can go back to Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer in the 80s if you want to go that far. But what I saw in that video, I didn't see those videos. I saw this video. I saw a guy that's a 13-year player in the NBA, 4-time champion, leader of that team, 4-time All-Star, defensive player of the year. I saw all that. A brilliant defensive mind, brilliant talent mind, done amazing. I saw an organization that has done everything right. Whether it's been the players, whether it's been draft, whether it's been dealing with situations like Draymond Green and KD and revamping their team, they've always been ahead of every curve. Doug Myers dropped the bomb on this one. You dropped the bomb. Steve Kerr and Doug Myers, they dropped the bomb on this one.
Bob, I think.
Bob. They dropped the bomb from this sense. I saw that punch. He knocked him out cold. I have a friend that knows Jordan Poole, that talked to Jordan Poole, talked to a couple other guys on that team. I know some people. Jordan Poole was unconscious for 2 seconds. Like when he gets hit and you see Draymond kind of come in with the knee a little bit too, he was out. They had to kind of wake him back up, got him back up. to hit someone that hard that's your teammate. Whether he was bumping off at the gums, whether you were going something yourself, I understand things happen. I'm not mad at the fight. I'm mad at the way the fight played out. And so then an organization has done everything right. You do a secret little fine and you don't suspend him. I'm not saying suspend him from game one because I know that's ring ceremony. I wouldn't embarrass him like that, although he's embarrassed himself. I wouldn't embarrass him in game one. I would let him get his ring, and then I would suspend him game two. Maybe suspend him game three. People have to see that that's not okay. That's not okay behavior to drop your teammate that's 10 years younger than you, mind you, drop your teammate, and then all will be forgiven. You just pay another fine. Now, in the long run, Warriors are going to be fine because they got guys like Clay. They have guys like Steph. Jordan Poole will realize it's about the bag and the championships. It's not about this guy that won't be there at the end of the season next year anyway. So they'll be fine. But in this immediate moment, the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, they got it wrong. Listen to the language Steve Kerr used. Listen to the language that Stephen Curry used.
Speaking of that, Braylon, this is the biggest crisis we've faced here since I've been coaching. Really big stuff. If so, treat it like so. Act like so. Now, Golden State and Steve Kerr and the ownership group and, general manager, they came up with this quote-unquote punishment, slap on the wrist, however you want to do it. I think they got it wrong. If this were me, if this was my team, he's never working for me again, period. And I'm sorry, thank you so much. I appreciate what you've done for my organization, but I will not have people like that in my organization. That's just how I feel about it.
And the big thing too, Matt, I'm gonna let you hit it on the head with this one. After this one, I've seen guys fight. When I was playing football, we had two guys, I won't mention their names, had two guys that got into a bunch of back and forth in the locker room. They had been getting into it from the morning meetings, then lunch, and then outside the walkthrough. And so eventually, you know what happened? Those guys went and we were like, all that talking you guys doing back and forth, why don't y'all go outside and knuckle up and get it over with? You know what those guys did at lunch? They went outside. We blocked it off so the coach couldn't see it. They knuckled up. They got it over with. Those guys got fined, but they didn't get suspended.
Difference.
And that's what I was about to say. And they didn't deserve to get suspended. But what I saw in that video, I saw a veteran leader, 13-year leader, 4-time champion, 4-time All-Star, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, a leader, a mind. I saw this guy walk away. So what if a young guy is talking stuff? Walk away. Then he comes back, he incites the fight, he puts his shoulder in Jordan Poole's chest so that Jordan had to push him off, and then he knew he was coming with a haymaker from hell, and he knocked this kid unconscious. Two different stories. Something has to happen beyond some minuscule some minuscule fine that you will charge this man that will be nothing, whether it's 25, whether it's 20, whether it's 40. It's nothing compared to making an individual miss games when he does something like that.
Maz, sit tight. I want your reaction to this next. We want to take a break, come right back. But first, a message from Cintron. Difference, Braylon, too, is it was kind of a sucker punch. And
that's what I was saying.
Two men squaring off. Cintron, then we'll continue on with this. Get Maz involved.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings. And now they're here to give you a limited edition 6-pack with their original flavors for a limited time. CintronWorld.com/Red Wings is where you can go. They want to be a part of revamping the community, re-energizing the Detroit sports teams, as well as helping WoodwardSports.com do the same. So let them energize you.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch, and JB in the house, making us better every single day, and we certainly appreciate them for that. Appreciate you for being involved in the WoodwardSports.com chat as well. Matt, just want to get you involved for this Draymond Green non-punishment, a fine, undisclosed fine, no suspension. The head coach says he's taking it seriously, but what say you?
I say they are taking it seriously, and they're a different type of team. Golden State, they're like a family, that team. Steph Curry, thanks to him, thanks to Klay Thompson. Braylon hit it on the head. Those guys keep stuff in-house. Steve Kerr, phenomenal coach, great man. I believe that they know what they're doing. I believe that there might be a chance that you might see Draymond Green maybe get traded. He just might get traded. Right now, they're handling it in-house. They find him, no suspension. They're stronger with him. He will play Friday's game. It's a preseason game. He's going to try that. And then, of course, they start the regular season, get their rings. I know, Braylon, you probably want him to sit out and not get his ring that night.
No, that's what I said.
I said the opposite.
I said quite the opposite. I said, no, I would not embarrass him like that. Listen, people go through things. They make mistakes. I know all about that. I understand mistake making.
Of course.
So I wouldn't do that to him and his family where he has to look back at this game 15, 20 years from now and see himself not out there. I would not do that to him and his family.
He knows he did wrong.
I understand it. The one pushback I would have to you is you said, they're going to handle things in-house. Well, see, the video got leaked. Now it's not in-house.
Right.
See, if this was a situation where we were...
I'm sure they caught that guy already.
True. But if we were speculating on, what happened or there was a fight, when you hear a fight and you think and nothing happens, you're like, oh, it probably was a little skirmish. And it's basketball players. Basketball players don't fight anyway unless they're from Detroit. So you're talking about maybe a little scuffle, maybe a little tackle situation. No, we saw that video. He was knocked out cold like it was a UFC fight.
It was a sucker punch.
And it's a sucker punch, but it's a visual. Visuals always suck. If we couldn't find visual on Davante Adams, that would be a whole other story too. Ray Rice, Davante Adams.
That started it all.
It's different when you see a visual. When you read the Bible, it's very different than when you watch Passion of Christ.
You know what? Can I say this? And I'll probably get made fun of, and I don't care.
Right.
I expect it. But
you're used to it by now, man.
Yeah, all right, I'm used to it. What Draymond Green did to Jordan Poole created a trauma. That was not some fight that two men square off at. I think Jordan Poole probably maybe affected deeply by that. Nightmares, and you laugh about it. But I think it inflicted a trauma because I don't know how it can't. When something like that, so unexpected, it's such a broken trust.
Right.
It is such a broken code amongst teammates, amongst co-workers. I just think it is next level. And again,
I got one for you.
For these reasons, he would not work for me anymore.
I got you.
Period.
It's a tough to compare football to basketball because you play on the opposite side of the ball. You really don't have to, let's say, deal with someone if you get into a fight with a defensive player. But I'm going to try for the sake of the argument. One of my OGs when I played for the Cleveland Browns is Willie McGinnis. Mm-hmm. Willie McGinnis is one of the most respected men in NFL history in terms of what he did for the Patriots, how he's conducted himself off the field, NFL Network.
You caught him at the end of his career.
But he's exactly, and that's what makes sense. And he's just the OG though. Like gives you advice, talks to you, shares stories. Like that's kind of how I see Draymond Green for the Oakland Warriors.
Yeah.
I see him or the Golden State Warriors. I see him as the OG, giving the young kids advice, whatever. If Willie McGinnis and I would have had a discussion of words and got into a dispute, and Willie McGinnis, who is much bigger than me, although I would fight anybody, I probably would have got my ass whooped, and clocked me as I wasn't looking, or sucker punched me and knocked me out cold, it would be on site with me and him. And what on site means is every time I see him, I'm going to fight him until I win. Until I get a win. He knocked this man out cold. If Willie McGinnis would have knocked me out cold, I can't play with this dude. And you talking about guys that got to play on the same side of the ball, in the game at the same time, set pick and rolls for each other, help each other out. I got to be on the court with that guy. They're going to be all right, but it's going to be tough it's going to be damn hard for Jordan Poole. And I'm telling you, that young man, until Draymond Green is off the premises, he may not be the same player that he was last year or the same player that he was on his way to be. It's tough.
And same person, too, right? I mean, every time he sees him, he probably...
It's a meme.
Yeah. Well, every time he sees... Yeah.
It's a walking meme right now.
It is. And to Draymond Green's credit, I mean, I think he did understand. Look, when this video got released, his family saw that. There is some embarrassment there as well. So you are, man, it kind of makes you feel less of a man, too, if that makes a little bit
Just remember that. And I know you guys have already discussed why, how he goaded him into it. But he got pushed first.
That was a setup.
Maz, it's a setup.
I know that.
But he didn't.
But still.
No, he didn't get pushed first. He put his body part on Jordan Poole first. He walked into him. I don't know if you guys been on the school.
I'm not defending Draymond.
But you're saying he pushed first. But you're wrong. Because Jordan Poole was touched first by Draymond walking into him with his shoulder. That's essentially a push. I just didn't extend my arm.
Poole didn't deserve it.
Now juxtapose the way this has been handled, right, with Golden State, to the way Davante Adams has been handled. Now charged with a misdemeanor assault. And I repeat, charged by the police with a citation. And the court records are out. Davante Adams, and there it is right there. I can't read what it says. I read it earlier. I cannot read the fine print. Thanks for putting that out for me, man.
Intentional overact. It says intentional overact, bodily injury, and that's the main verbiage that they're using. Jesus Christ.
But again, like, so for instance, here's how silly this is. Now the guy, the protester that ran on the field last week, and Bobby Wagner hit him. He filed a police report as well. The police chose not to charge him.
He's concussed, by the way. That's not over.
Well, he's going to sue, right?
Yeah, that's next.
He's going to sue, but the police decided not to charge him or issue a citation. Issue a citation. So, come on, Kansas City police. Please. This is the dumbest thing I have seen in quite some time.
You know,
I am embarrassed for the Kansas City Police Department.
You know what? You just hit the nail on the head. The reason why you hit the nail on the head, there was a situation last year. I want to say it was last year or it was the year before, but I believe it was last year. Trey Songz, who's a singer, R&B singer, he got attacked by some fans at a Kansas City game last year, and as a result, defended himself. He got charged by the Kansas City police with a felony charge. He got an assault felony charge for defending himself inside the Kansas City Chiefs Arena, Arrowhead Stadium. So you know, Ryan Ermanni, good call by you. It's something about Kansas City.
And I can't figure it out because you take in everything there is to account for the way that thing played out. And I'll tell you this much too, not only did this guy really screw himself because I don't know, when you know it's a clear money grab, people don't want to be around you. I would not hire that guy anymore to do business with me any longer. So there's one aspect of it, and then the other is that guy just ruined it for every other working member of the press, because you can bet your bottom dollar that the NFL will now have clear changes to the way they handle end of game and locker room and all kinds of field access.
Two questions. Question one, if it's Hunter Renfrow that pushes this guy, are we having the same conversation? And thing two, the good thing that came out of this conversation is this: football players now know, as well as other players in other sports that have money, that get deals, etc. Don't put your hands on anybody, regardless of the cause. Whether it was instinctual, whether it was ever, they are trying to steal your money. The money you worked hard for, they are trying to take.
That's just in life. If you got money,
and that's what this is to everybody out there. Keep your hands to yourself, because that money that you worked so damn hard for, somebody will take the opportunity to take a little for themselves if you give it to them.
Maz, what are you looking at?
I was just going to read what we couldn't read before. Here's what the way it's worded on the police report. It's assault. Did by an intentional, overt act inflict bodily injury or cause an unlawful offensive contact upon Ryan Zebley by pushing Zebley to the ground using 2 hands, causing whiplash and headache and a possible minor concussion. That is what the assault is.
Here's a question.
I have a possible concussion just sitting next to you every day.
I'm with you.
You know what? I'm with both you guys. Here's an idea. Here's an idea. Davante Adams should countersue. He should countersue the NFL because they shouldn't have been in that position to even run into him. It should have been
NFL security.
It should have been cleared out. It should have been free. The game was over. This isn't a situation where Davante Adams is running off the field at the end of the third quarter, or he's running off the field halfway through the fourth for an injury, or he had to go to the restroom or something like that. The game is clearly over. It's a tough loss. He's a visiting team. You got to protect guys from coming in and out of that tunnel. If I'm Davante Adams, if I get sued civilly, I'm suing the NFL because you guys should have had that area clear.
Listen, man.
And they will from now on.
It looked a lot worse than it was because of how hard he pushed him. That's why we're talking about this.
He did not push him hard. If he pushed him hard, he wouldn't have hopped back up like nothing happened. Davante's not a small guy, but he's not Lawrence Taylor.
He was getting helped up.
Because somebody saw it happen right away, so they instantly pulled him up.
He's in a full football uniform, Braylon.
Maz, he didn't hit him like Bobby Wagner did with his helmet and shoulder pads. He gave a quick jab push.
Okay.
It's nothing about him having football pads on made that push worse. It's a push. It's not football pads and me throwing the shoulder.
What should have happened is the guy should have just, like you said, written the Raiders, written the NFL, and say, look, I'm an NFL accredited reporter. I got pushed to the ground. My camera is busted. I'm not feeling well. What do you want me to do?
Right.
That's what you should have did.
That's the old school.
That's how you
handle it.
That's the area you grew up in. That would have been amazing.
That's all you do.
Now everybody's got a hand
Now
out.
everyone's got their hand
And now
out.
everybody's got an opinion on how it should have been handled.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you get the lawyers involved and, watch.
It sucks.
Davante Adams is probably going to have to settle out of court.
$250K. $250K.
I hope not.
$250K guaranteed.
That's what's going to happen, and that's what it's worth to that guy. Guys, we'll talk some Lions coming up next. I do want to get into some of the bye week stuff that we haven't yet gotten to. Also, Dave Birkett. That's what I was looking for.
There you go.
I was verbally having verbal diarrhea of the mouth, trying to think of what I wanted to say.
We've got our Yahoo 1 to 32 top quarterbacks as well.
Absolutely. Dave
You're going to
Birkett
love this.
coming up, top of the hour. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 freaking years. And right now is the perfect time to make sure you have peace of mind and home security from Guardian Alarm, the most trusted name in home and business security with 24/7 monitoring. You can have the peace of mind knowing you are being backed by the best. In the security business, call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hey, for a limited time only, the all-new burgers and loaded fries are at Big Boy. It's not just a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. And how about those new burgers? The Burger Blue is delicious, the Bacon Blue as well, the Chili Cheeseburger. Sounds good to me now, and upgrade those fries. Chili cheese fries, nacho fries, baked potato fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Dave Birkett coming up, top of the hour. Welcome in, WoodwardSports.com. Check us out. Check anything out.
Buy some merch.
well. Yeah, buy some merch, man. The shop is up and running. Over 121 items that you could get out, get a gift, wear for yourself, whatever the case may be. Morning Woodward's show, Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards with Mads Woodward Heavyweight, several podcasts on there, lots of news, and the shop. Check it out, woodwardsports.com. So we're going to get into some Lions talk. I did want to show this first. Yahoo Sports came out with this list of quarterbacks, essentially, and broke them down into the different tiers. So as you see, the MVP tier at the top, where he's got 3 quarterbacks listed: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Those 3, all the way down to the really bad category, which there's 2 in there right now: Baker Mayfield and Justin Fields, believe it or not.
Baker Mayfield, it says, hurting his ankle may have saved him from being benched. And Justin Fields, he wasn't god-awful on Sunday, but that sets a pretty low bar. So those are the 2 that Yahoo says are the 2 worst.
If we could put that list back up again, Fletcher, I just want to show the people the different categories as well. And the third level of quarterback, which is really a top 10 situation, there's your Lions quarterback, Jared Goff, sitting at number 10. And
Geno Smith sitting at 9.
And Geno Smith is sitting at 9. And I think this is about who's playing well 5 weeks in and who's not playing well 5 weeks in.
So it says Geno Smith says playing better than Russ. Jared Goff playing better than Stafford. Jimmy Garoppolo playing better than Trey. Cooper Rush playing better than Dak.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think that was perfectly worded. Talking about 9 through 12 right there, talking about that. Their descriptions there is perfect because it's tough to place Jared Goff right now. I mean, you can say how good he played, etc., but he's still making some mistakes here and there. But I like the way they worded it, but I like it's more so the number he's at. Like, that's the sneaky thing about it. There's only 3 things that I would do different on this list. Thing 1, Lamar Jackson, elite-ish. Why are we always in such a hurry to put Lamar Jackson in a space where he's not making the cut? He's not doing enough. Like at the beginning of the year, actually before last week, he was MVP candidate. He was having the most electric year out of any quarterback, any person in the NFL. And now all of a sudden, one game, and now all of a sudden he's elite-ish. It's always the ish.
They're not winning, that's why.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's early in the season.
This is an early thing.
Okay, 5 weeks, he's not an MVP candidate. It's not his fault. He can't play defense for the Baltimore Ravens in the fourth quarter. He can't call calls like John Harbaugh can on 4th down at the end of games. Those aren't his faults.
Good call.
If we're just saying who's MVP, please stop putting him under the MVP candidate
let's move him
and
up.
bump him back up.
Move him
the
up.
other
So you
one,
can move him up.
Let's move him up.
Carson Wentz, kissing cousin. Put his ass in bad. 23. I don't care about his numbers. He is who he is. He will show you yet again. It doesn't matter when it shows up. Carson Wentz will always take the mask off at the end of games, just like the Scooby-Doo commercials, and always be the bad guy, or the Scooby-Doo show. Put him in bad.
I like that.
And Zach Wilson, it says kissing your cousin. I don't know about that. I will put good and bad, and the verdict's still out. I will put Zach Wilson up.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You ready for this one?
I'm a Jet guy again. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Look at the top 8 quarterbacks on this list.
Yep.
From MVP to MVP-ish, elite-ish. Lets people see it there, Fletch. There you go. Aside from those top 8, I'd give you one quarterback to quarterback your team the rest of the year. Who is it?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Besides those 8.
Besides those 8 in MVP and elite-ish, those top 8, you get to pick any quarterback you want on this list.
I got my guy.
Who?
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. And you without hezation.
Yeah.
You were pretty quick to say Jimmy Garoppolo. It's hard not to because all he does is win. But again, one of the things with Garoppolo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things with Garoppolo is exactly what we're pushing up Garoppolo and we're pushing down Lamar for the same reason. Give me the San Francisco 49ers defense. Put them on the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
And they're 5-0 Baltimore.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? So
you're
I
right.
guess I would have to go Joe Burrow too, just because Joe Burrow looks like the best quarterback.
You know who my guy is though. You know who I really would choose. Y'all know who my guy is. Nobody up here likes him except me.
Geno.
No, man, hell no, I don't like no Geno Smith. Who's the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings? The number one team in the NFC North.
Right.
It's Kirk Cousins.
He's winning.
That's all he does.
He's winning.
He gets you to the playoffs. Now, what happens in the playoffs, that's not on Kirk Cousins.
You see what it says under
He can't do
Kyler Murray?
anything in the playoffs.
Kyler Murray's at 15. It says, there may have been a reason for that study clause.
I would take Kyler Murray on my high school basketball team.
I'm telling you, though. Okay, Burrow aside.
Yeah. You're right, though.
Goff ain't too far away. He's not too far away.
Until last week, you had me until last week.
Yeah, he's just not too far away.
He went back to his own self.
Impossible situations, 4th and 9.
He's playing well. He was playing well. You have to say that. And I went on a rant because he was playing well. He wasn't getting any help by the defense. He's been getting no help by the defense all year as he's been playing good until last week. So, yes, I went on my rant about Jared Goff because it was worth it. Looking at it from this perspective, the Washington Commanders are trash. The Patriots just had his number. Like Bill Belichick, it was a spanking. Bill Belichick took Ben Johnson to school. It was a clinic he put on. And then if you go back, it's like Jared Goff still doing Jared Goff stuff. So it's like when you say who would I take over now, if you say how's he playing this year? Well, you look at the numbers, he's playing well. But if you're saying who would I take, well, I still got to go to what I've seen proof. And
I think I'd give Matthew Stafford another run as well.
I think I'd take Jared Goff over Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford, he's been running for his life.
I understand.
Can you imagine him, behind the line now with the Lions?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. He still wouldn't have a defense or anything like that. So the same problems he had in Detroit always for 12 seasons are still the same problems, other than he'd have a little bit better of a running game. And the running game is fine.
And he has Sean McVay.
Until you need to get a yard or two. And you can't get a yard or two.
He has Sean McVay.
That's a little bit different. So I just thought that was something fun to pose.
It's fun.
Look how far Russell Wilson fell.
Oh, my God.
Russell Wilson, number 20.
He sucks,
He says, is this what's left of Russ? If you want to look at more of this, you can check it out on Yahoo Sports.
And as somebody that loves Russ, as somebody that told you I was there when Russ got drafted, as somebody that
I cut him from my fantasy
I
team.
freaking picked him. I picked the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. I was trying something crazy. I wouldn't put him at 20.
No.
Like, if I'm being honest, Russell, the way he's played this year, he deserves to be in that 20, right behind Marcus Mariota.
Let me pose a question to you guys for my suicide pool this week. Okay? Got to pick a winner.
Your suicide pool is struggling. As good as
No, I'm hanging in there.
Are you now?
I'm still winning.
Okay.
I'm still alive. Would you take the Chargers over?
Your mic just went off. Come on, Maz.
Maz was saying, would he take the Chargers or who?
Would you take the Chargers over Denver, or would you take the Vikings over the Dolphins?
Chargers over Denver.
Chargers over Denver,
Chargers
too.
over Denver.
I would, too. I mean,
What time? Hold on. What time are the Vikings playing? I told you. It depends for Kirk Cousins.
Chargers at home, Monday Night Football against the Broncos.
Yeah, there it is.
Or what was the other one, man?
Russ plays good on Monday night. Vikings and Dolphins.
No, I'm not. No.
Dolphins are the backup, though.
On the road, Vikings, Dolphins going to win that game. Vikings suck.
4-1.
Yeah, but they suck. They're a crappy 4-1.
They're 4-1.
They suck.
They're 4-1.
You know who doesn't suck?
You know who's the opposite of 4-1?
Do you see who this Dolphin quarterback is?
Yes.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
Skylar Thompson? I'm not betting a Skylar Thompson.
Well, then there you go. You have your answer.
I took the
Why
Vikings.
did you ask us?
Because I wanted to get your opinion.
Why did you ask us?
I'm glad. You guys picked the Chargers? Good. I'm taking the opposite.
All right. Very good. Guys, let me tell you about Custom Health Centers. Custom Health Centers, is it time to get back to your fighting weight? Feel like the summer packed on a few too many? Custom Health Centers takes the willpower out of weight loss. Whether you need to lose 20 or 120, Custom Health Centers will help you do it quickly and safely. Go to CustomHealthCenters.com, CustomHealthCenters.com, or give them a call today. 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
I sense the disappointment. No one likes. We don't do this to work every day for us to come out and then be 1-4. We don't accept losing. I don't accept losing. I'll never get used to losing. I feel like in this locker room right now that we'll ever get used to, and we're not trying to get used to it.
You know what? That's great commentary coming out of Jamaal Williams, out of camp. Once again, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. He doesn't accept losing. It doesn't matter what you accept, it's what you do about it. If you don't accept losing, show us. Like, if you guys don't accept losing, then don't lose in the fourth quarter to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you don't accept losing, then don't give the game away to the Minnesota Vikings. If you don't accept losing, don't let Geno Jackson come in here and throw for 320, 2 touchdowns, and 0 picks. You know what else? If you don't accept it, then do something about it. Because if you can't, then you have to accept it. Terrell versus Ali. Ernie Terrell, and I know you will love this match. Ernie Terrell told Ali, he said, I ain't calling you Ali. Your mama call you Cassius. I'm going to call you Cassius. I don't accept.
Say my
I don't accept. Your name is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali said, okay, you know what Muhammad Ali did? He gave Ernie Terrell one of the worst butt whoopings in boxing history. And he kept telling him to say his name. He may not have accepted that his name was Muhammad Ali, but damn it, his name wasn't changing back to Cassius Clay. And that's the same thing with the Lions. If you don't accept to lose, then don't lose.
And part of that, and if you're new to the show, Braylon calls Geno Smith Geno Jackson because the Detroit Lions allowed Geno Smith to look like Lamar Jackson. So that's the interchanging of the names there. I just wanted to explain that for you. There was not a stutter.
No, it was not at all. It's Geno Jackson or Lamar Smith.
You know, part of this, too, is these guys got to play better. Look, I love Jamaal Williams as much as the next guy, but he's got to play better, too. He played 5 games. Guys dropped 2 passes right in his hands that, like on just 5-yard outs.
Remember Hard Knocks?
5-yard outs on in the flat.
Remember Hard Knocks?
And he did it there. You can't do that. I mean, when you're taking series away from your team, you're putting, you know, your team, instead of 2nd and 5, you're 2nd and 10 now because you just dropped another friggin' pass with nobody around you. You know, if you're going to come out there and talk that game, which I love Jamaal Williams. I want him to do that stuff because I think he's a leader of this ball club.
Agreed.
A leader on the team. You got to play like a leader on the team too, and you can't do that stuff. This league is too close for you to drop passes like that and to not perform and to miss reads and to miss cuts. The Vikings game where he's got a first down if he just stays to the outside. Read your blockers, and he cuts it inside trying to bowl over a guy, and he stops short.
That's the game, by the way.
That is losing football. And if he, and I'm talking about Jamaal Williams, Braylon, just because he's the guy that's always doing the rah-rah saying this stuff. You got to play better.
As the rah-rah guy, you got to be a guy that makes sure that your inks are intact. Man, your eyes are dotted, your T's are crossed. If you're going to be the guy that's vocal, that's a guy that people are going to look to often. Man, the fans, people are going to watch you. They want to see what you're going to do. And if you're out there not doing what you're supposed to do, I listened to a Breece Hall interview after the game. Them just talking about why are they having success in New York. And he said because we're not trying to do too much. He said coaches are putting us in a good position. So all we're trying to go out there is do one. He said, we're not trying to worry about 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're just worrying about 1. Coaches put us in a good position. We go out there and take care of our responsibility. That's what you got to do as a Detroit Lions moving forward. You can't be trying to be Superman or trying to, you know what, I see 3 yards there, but maybe if I go here, maybe I can get this 30. You guys aren't good enough to try that stuff out. You got to take what's there right now, and you're trying to get wins.
Frank Ragnow talking about essentially exactly what Breece Hall told you. Here's Frank Ragnow.
The biggest thing that we're missing right now is the complementary football. I know that's very coach speak, but it's real. Like last week as an offense, we scored 45, and the defense struggled. This week, we put the defense in a lot of tough spots. We need to be able to have each other's back.
I love that by Frank Ragnow. You got to have each other's back. But remember what I told you last week. Remember what I told you the week before that. I said when you're continually to do your thing and the opposite side of the ball is not doing it. See, that's what you're starting to hear now, Ryan Ermanni. He said, man, and he threw himself in the mix just so it didn't come off a certain way. He said, we put the defense in a lot of bad spots. No, you haven't. You've messed up a little bit, but that defense has consistently put you guys in bad spots. But this is how it happens. It's like, we're doing what we're supposed to do. We need some complementary football. You're starting to see terms right now that are they're smoother versions of the hard truth. Well, we need to play complementary football. You're hearing those type of terms. You drop another 4, and the terms are going to change. It's like, look, man, we don't know you're going to start to hear, we don't know what to tell you. We're doing what we're supposed to do. That's the type of thing that happens, and it's not because guys aren't on the same page or guys are trying to throw each other under the bus. It's that guys' wives, guys' families, guys' fans, team fans, they see the same thing those guys are seeing as the offense of the Detroit Lions, with the exception of last week.
I think what he's talking about, that they put the defense in a bad situation, all those 4th down calls.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what he's calling.
That's exactly right.
And did they make any on Sunday? No.
I don't believe so.
I don't think
0.
so.
Frank Ragnow called those plays?
No.
We know who called those plays.
They're on their way to 64, 4th down, to go for it on 4th down. They're on their way to breaking their own record, which was last year.
Think about this, too. We're talking about, the offensive line and the running football and Stafford and Goff. Oh, Stafford would have a run game here finally for the first time in however long the Lions have a run game. They have a run game until they actually need the run game. You've got these 3 first-round picks on the offensive line. You've got another free agent signing,
Craig Reynolds,
that you signed a lot of money to. Jonah Jackson, I think.
And you have your first-round running back on the bench because he can't get on the field.
But nonetheless, is what I'm saying is when you need 1 yard, you can't get a push. You know what I mean? Like you've put all of these resources into this offensive line and into this running game. You need 1 yard, a yard and a half, and you can't get a push. And I'm referring back to the first series in New England,
absolutely,
which you decide to go for it. If you do decide to go for it, I mean, then you're coming with some like fullback fake play that doesn't register anything, and you are putting your defense in a terrible spot against a third-string rookie quarterback making his first start. I will never understand the decision to go for it instead of pinning that rookie quarterback back.
How long before, and this is typical Lions speak, but you know what? This is typical Lions behavior. How long are we talking about moving forward from Dan Campbell? And this isn't me. I'm just asking how long before you think that's a fair conversation.
I told you guys. Go ahead, Maz.
Fletch, put up the list I put at the top of the sheet.
That was amazing, by the way.
This is very funny. I don't know who put this out. A Lions fan put this out.
So somebody,
this is very good.
Somebody,
you read that, scratch them off.
Somebody tweeted me this today. Lions fan season schedule. Draft day Kool-Aid drinking party.
Scratch that.
Then you get on to the preseason. OMG, we are good.
Scratch.
We could go to the Super Bowl.
Scratch.
We could win the division.
Ryan Ermanni. Scratch.
We could win the wild card.
Ryan Ermanni. Scratch.
Screw the refs.
Scratch.
Screw injuries.
Maz.
Trade for an O-lineman.
Haven't said that yet. Scratch.
We are here. Fire the coordinators.
Fire the coordinators.
What's next?
Next step, fire the head coach. Sell the team. I don't even care anymore. At least the Packers season is over.
Yeah, that's
so funny.
That's some of the funniest I've ever seen.
Very nicely done.
I don't know who put that out, but somebody tweeted me that today. It is funny, man.
Isn't that good?
The only reason I asked is this.
That's life.
1-7.
I understand last year. I understand that, hey, first rattle out the box, 3-13-1. Okay, cool. It's tough to do a rebuild, especially when you don't have talent. Then
remember when you yelled at me?
Yeah.
Remember when you yelled at me?
Yelled at you for what?
Academy of Woodward?
Because I told you they weren't going to win 10 games.
No, you yelled at me because I said if the Lions are 1-7 this year, I will call for Dan Campbell to be fired.
I didn't yell at you because
you
1-7.
yelled. Oh, go back and watch
I yelled because you said they were going to win 10 games.
Was that you or Mr. Kerr?
You said they were going to win 10 games.
I did.
Where's that energy now?
I did. It's fading.
Exactly.
It is fading.
But the one thing I will say,
you yelled at me.
Whether you want to look at last season, you look at this season. Last season was 3-13-1. This season, he's 1-4. That makes him 4-17-1.
What's Brian Daboll after 5 games?
4-1.
So
he got 4.
What is he in the win count? What does he have?
And his defense is average. This is not 1995 where you keep a job as the head coach for 5 years before you figure out a 4. This is the new day where they want it now. Frankly put, he's 4-17-1, and he's looking to be 1-7 after the next 3 games. I'm just being honest.
More Lions talk coming next. We'll try to track down Dave Birkett. We'll do it. But first, a message from Swiss.
It's time to talk about Swiss. Swiss Insurance Group, did you know that 1 in 6 kids will develop a medical condition that makes them uninsurable? Tragedy. Swiss Insurance can help, though. They can save you money on your auto and home, resulting in no out-of-pocket costs to insure your children. Sounds like a great deal to me. Check out my man Mark at Swiss Insurance Group and make sure your family is protected.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, WoodwardSports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey, Fletch and Flannel are here. Or not Flannel, Fletch and JB. I apologize, JB. Damn, that was just, what do you call it? Automatic.
It's a brain fart.
Yeah, brain fart. JB
You're gonna have to redo
in the
that
house. Guys, we're talking Lions. They are 1-4 at the bye. I'm not sure how people feel about 1-4 at the bye, if people expected that. Braylon, you're the only one in this show that said 1-4 before the season started, so give you credit there. Let's bring in Dave Birkett. Detroit Free Press, Lions beat.
Dave.
Ryder Dave, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, Dave.
Braylon, you called 1-4?
I did. I absolutely did. I mean, the big thing for me, and they almost snuck a win against Philly. They gave up a game against Minnesota, so I could have easily been wrong. It could have been 3-2. The big thing for me, Dave Birkett, is how I adjust every picking until they show me I'm picking against the Detroit Lions. I said the big thing is they didn't attack the defensive side of the ball. We talked about that a lot ad nausea. I said they didn't attack the defensive ball in free agency and off season, so that bothered me. And then I wasn't necessarily sure about Jared Goff, so 1-4 is where I saw him. But it's until the Lions show me different, until they show me they can go on the road and beat a team, until they show me they can have a team come in that they should beat and they beat them, I'm going to keep picking against them.
Hey, Dave, characterize this 1-4 start.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I mean, look, Braylon's got a good philosophy, I guess, right? Missouri showed me because they haven't done it in forever. I get that, and maybe I should stick to that myself. I didn't think they'd be, playoff bound, but I thought they'd be better than they were. And, Ryan, I think it's the way that they've started 1-4 too was disappointing. Braylon just mentioned the Minnesota game. Obviously, you give one away there. And, look, I know Geno Smith is playing well, and all the credit to him, but Seattle is not a good team.
Thank you.
Seattle and really, your defense just gets hammered. You can't do that. And then last week in a shutout to an average Patriots team, a mediocre Patriots team, frankly. So I think it's really just the last 3 games have put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths about where this Lions organization is at right now. 5 games into Dan Campbell's second year.
And you mentioned Dan Campbell, and that's exactly where I was going to go next. I mean, look, he's coming under a lot of fire, and rightfully so, for the way they've been losing these games. If you make calls and they go well, you get the credit. If you make calls and they go bad, you're on the chopping block for a lot of Lions fans. How secure is Dan Campbell? I'm not saying he's going to get fired. I don't want to say that, but what do you make of Dan Campbell and some of this like roller coaster ride that we're on in these games? It's like he's playing a video game almost.
Yeah. Look, I think Dan is very secure, and I think he should be. It's just you're not going to build a winner by giving a coach, 20 games essentially, or 22 games, whatever he's had. So, and where they were, the state of the program that he and Brad Holmes took over, I just don't think there will be any reason or impetus for the Lions to move on after this season. I like Dan's aggressive approach to play calling. I really do. In game management when it comes to fourth downs. I mean, analytically, what he does matches up with the numbers. I think he's trusting in a lot of ways his best unit, right? The offense. That's really what this team is about right now. But the two fourth down decisions in particular are the ones that I thought maybe he overmanaged a little bit. That kicking that field goal or trying that field goal in Minnesota when your offense is rolling and you have a chance to put the game away. The only chance you have to win that game without losing it is to pick up a first down, and you take the ball out of your offense's hands. Give Minnesota that chance. I didn't like that in the 4th and 9 last week. That just, I don't know about the logic of going for a 4th and 9 in the first half of a 6-0 game. Everything that was going on with the Patriots offense. So I like what Dan does, and I will say this too: it's much easier to criticize someone for the decisions they make when they are being proactive in making those decisions than when they sit back and don't do anything, because you actually see it. You see the result of a failure that they caused. So I think there's some of that at play there, but Dan has to get better at some of those aspects of the game.
Dave Birkett joins us, Detroit Free Press beat writer. Make sure you spend $1 or $2 and get the Free Press like we all do here at Woodward Sports. Dave, I wanted to ask you about what he said about Jared Goff. 2 weeks ago, when they had that pick six, the tip pass, the pick six, he kind of mentioned it at the end. Hey, yeah, our defense gave up 48, but, we can't give up a touchdown, a pick six. And then last week, he says, he's rubbing his head and he's talking about Jared Goff, and he says, I've never seen anything like it. We can't give touchdowns to the defense. What's your take on that? And then you hear Ron Rivera throw Wentz under the bus.
Yeah, I thought, the 2 weeks ago, I thought Dan was just trying to take some heat off his defense. And last week, I don't think it was, I don't think that was him throwing them under the bus. I actually asked the question, and it was more about, hey, this is 3 times that he's had turnovers that have been returned for touchdowns. And, what do you make of this? Is there a rhyme or reason to it? And he said, I've never seen anything like it. So I think that was more him answering a question about that specific topic than it was throwing Jared Goff under the bus. But, Maz, having said that, look, Goff needs to be better. And I was thinking about this a little bit the other day in that, look, Jared I think he's outperformed a lot of people's expectations.
Yeah, I would agree.
Pretty well overall. Turnovers are a little bit of an issue here, and certainly, he's not making anyone think he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's the least of the Lions' problems right now. Let's put it that way. Yes. But having said that, look, if the Lions end up with another top 10 pick, all right, that'll be 5 straight years with a top 10 pick. And they'll have 2 draft picks, first-round picks this year, 2 first-round last year. If you don't come away from that stretch of first-round picks and get your franchise quarterback, I think it's like organizational, big disservice to your organization to do that. I mean, quarterback is the most important position in the game, and the Lions have not addressed it in a reasonable way to this point here in the recent past.
Hey, Dave Birkett, let me ask you a quick question. We keep talking about Dan Campbell. There's a lot of talk about Aaron Glenn for the last 2 weeks, maybe even the whole season. But is it time to talk about Brad Holmes, just in this regard? Because I know everybody's going to get pushed back on Brad Holmes. Everyone loves Brad Holmes. I get it. But if you look at the free agent moves, I haven't necessarily liked any of the free agent moves thus far. is there a fair share of blame to place on him, or are we waiting for Jameson Williams, who we expect to be amazing, so that will be another win for him, and we're trying to see if Jas Pascal is going to be a player that can complement Aiden Hutchinson on the opposite side. So I'm waiting for that as well. But is it time to think a little bit?
Yeah, I think Brad deserves some blame here too. Certainly look when you're 1-4 and when you're 4-17-1 overall, like everyone deserves some blame. Now, same as Dan, he falls in the same boat as Dan for me, that we knew the state of the organization that he was taking over. And I don't fault him for the free agent decisions or lack of big time free agent spending. The thing that I have the biggest issue with is spending second round picks on players that are hurt. I like the Jameson Williams move because that is an elite player that you have for control of for 5 years.
Yeah.
Levi Onwuzurike, Josh Pascal, those are second round picks that can be contributors. They both had medical issues in college that Holmes said they knew about, and now we've barely seen either one of them on the field, and in Josh's case haven't seen him at all. I know Josh will be back here soon, but if his rookie season is a wash, you've got 3 years of contributions from a guy that might have a little bit of a medical history. So I think that's the biggest issue that Brad or the biggest fault that Brad has had so far. The thing that I will be watching this offseason is, because you have to win at some point, and because if this season continues down the path that it's on, how will that change how Brad and Dan go about things? I mean, there will be pressure on them to win next season. So do they all of a sudden spend a little bit more in free agency and sort of get off this track that they're on with this, we're building for the long haul, we're going to do it the right way, we're going to do everything through the draft?
Hey, Dave, I wanted to ask you moving forward now. Look, I don't want to say the season's over, but it feels like the season is over. I mean, you're talking at Dallas, Miami, perhaps Tua's back, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. I mean, you are staring 1-7 in the face. I don't care who you are. Nobody thought 1-7. How important is it? Dumb question, but how important is it to get a win here somewhere?
Absolutely, because you're right. I mean, it does feel like it's, this is another season where the games don't matter, and we're not even to Halloween yet. And that's just, you don't want that out of your organization. No one likes that, fan base wise, front office, players, in the locker room, anywhere. So, they understand what's going on. They need a win here. And look, I think the next 3 games really coming out of the bye, you mentioned those 3, really the next 6, if you divide the season into thirds, the way this thing is, in an 18-game schedule or an 18-week season you can do now. You have Buffalo at the end of that, schedule. You've got a Giants team that's maybe a little bit better than we thought too. So it's absolutely critical that the Lions win some games here coming up. And Dallas will be incredibly tough. That defense is very good. Maybe Dak will be back. If he's not, look, I mean, you're playing backup quarterbacks again coming out of the bye potentially in Dallas and Miami. And it did the Lions no good last week against the Patriots, but certainly those games with backup quarterbacks are the daunting thing to be. Dak and Tua are available.
Dave, I got 2 for you here. This is a quickie. Last week, you have the kicker, Michael Badgley.
You stay with the quickies, man.
Michael Badgley's in the game. He's on the sideline. You don't bring him in. Is he hurt? Why don't you kick a 49, 50-yard field goal? Now, I heard he said you don't want to kick it to the open end of the stadium. That was Marty Morningweg-esque. Just tell me about the kickers first. You got Sam Ficken now in town.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
I mean, the hamster wheel continues. They're just trotting out, whoever they can, trying to find a solution here. Dan said after the game that he had a distance in mind, and he just didn't, feel comfortable about kicking Badgley from 50 yards, maybe 51, depending on where the spot went down there. But look, if you don't trust an NFL kicker to kick from 50 yards, he probably shouldn't be rostered.
Yeah.
And I get it. He's 3-10, 3 of 10 for his career from 50 plus. So, and maybe you want to punt there, but 4th and 9, it just doesn't make sense for me to go for such a low percentage conversion. So who the kicker will be when we come back from the break, Maz, I don't know. I think that will be determined in practice, whether it's Badgley or Ficken. Ficken worked out for the Lions the same day they signed Badgley, and they signed Badgley anyway. So I think it's up in the air who they're going to roll with going forward.
And maybe Dave Birkett. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Hey, last one for me, Dave. Hey, you got to put your thinking cap on for this one, because this is a what if. What if Ben Johnson went up to GM, Brad Holmes, and said, hey, I got an offer. I want to move on and maybe be a head coach or maybe coach somewhere else. I'm just asking you this because would you rather keep Ben Johnson here and maybe make him your head coach, or do you let Dan Campbell continue as your head coach? Who do you like better of the two of them going forward?
I just don't think the Lions are ready to move on from Dan Campbell in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think they should be either. I mean, look, Dan he's energized the locker room, the fan base. You got to have some wins. I would say that, and everyone agrees with that. Everyone knows that. They haven't come so far, but no matter what the case is with Ben, I think the Lions are comfortable going forward with Dan for the time being. And if Ben gets the job, hey man, more power to him. The Lions offense plays well. If they start winning some games, maybe he will get some interview opportunities because those young offensive coordinator minds are in demand around the NFL.
Dave, it's funny, I went back and just looked at the Lions' recent first-round picks, and because I never considered this would be the 5th year in a row that they would have a top 10 pick, and you don't have your quarterback. You could essentially have the same thing as a Matt Patricia situation, where this regime is forced to win games next year, and instead of picking Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa, you pick Jeff Okudah. If this regime is faced with the same kind of edict, win games, compete for a playoff, maybe a pass on the quarterback and pick up some random defensive tackler. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, something to think about.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's a great way to phrase it, though. It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Thanks so much. We certainly appreciate you doing this, man. We love your stuff.
Thanks,
you're the best in the business, and we certainly appreciate it. Dave Birkett, spend $1, freak.com. Check him out. Also on Twitter. What you got?
Side note: I see you growing your hair out. I'm going to tell you, I like it. I see it in the back. I see it. I see it.
Real quick, I don't know. Maybe I care a little less than I even should, but I'm one of those who my wife bought some clippers like 20 years ago, and it's just whenever we get a concert,
20 years ago.
And I haven't had time, and so it's definitely grown out. It's a little longer right now than it probably should be. But
I noticed the camera angle was perfectly set up so that I could see it sticking out the back. That's all I'm saying. I saw it. I noticed it.
That's great.
Looking good, Dave.
On Twitter at Dave Birkett. Thanks, Dave. We appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Talk to you down the road.
Always good to see you.
Go get those kids.
Let's explore that.
Leave the hair.
Let's explore that a little bit further about this first-round quarterback situation.
How about
5
the damn
years in the
second
top
round?
10, no doubt
Give me a
about it.
break.
Again, he agreed with you, Maz. There's a lot to talk about here. But first, a message from SMA.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, this is the S word, and the S word stands for stigma, because we're trying to destigmatize addiction as well as mental health. Listen, everybody goes through something, but you don't have to struggle alone. You don't have to go through depression and anxiety and wonder what it is and just say, I'll get over it. You don't have to get over it. You can get the answers and the help you need. Sean Jordan and SMA do an amazing job having a conversation and providing you with content. So go to thesportsma.com.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, everybody, get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right. Free. Free Woodward Sports T-shirt from Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell them we sent you, and they will print you one up right on the spot. Check them out online at bigfrog.com/Novi. Free T-shirt.
Big Frog.
Free T-shirt.
You know that's right.
Hey, give me one of those T-shirts, man.
Dude, the T-shirts are great. I spent a bunch of money in the
We
shop.
got to come up with some new ideas, man, because I love the tell me when he gets here, but that one's getting a little old. We got to.
Well,
you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Guys, there was a lot to chew on with the Dave Birkett interview, and I think this is. Talk about the Lions. Why are they bad, right? Why has this organization been bad?
It's the worst in the NFL.
Absolutely.
In history.
And one of the worst in sports.
Yeah,
Let's
in
call it what
sports.
it is. How you stay bad long is you continuously, as an organization, make desperate moves. And when Dave Birkett said, this potentially could be the fifth year in a row where the Lions have had a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. If you don't come away with your franchise quarterback after having that top 10 pick for 5 years in a row, you are doing something wrong. Very wrong. And here's why I want the Lions to win some games now.
Yeah.
So this regime does not feel desperate. Because when you are desperate, you make very bad choices. Just like Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia, to pick Jeff Okudah over Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa, the two franchise quarterbacks coming out of that draft at that time, in that year, to take a corner because you had to win now, that sets your franchise back a decade. If you are faced with that pick again, and you are sitting there with a number 5, number 6, number 7 pick, and you don't come away with your quarterback because this regime, this head coach in particular, feels like he has to win games now. What is going to help Dan Campbell win games now? Is it going to be a rookie quarterback, or is it going to be some stud defensive tackle or some stud defensive end or some stud linebacker, Will Anderson?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to think about this moving forward. And when you don't pick the quarterback, it sets your franchise back years, perhaps a decade, when you make the wrong pick.
No, you're absolutely right. And you're looking at the draft this year. It's as we talked about during the season, it was only C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young and people were talking about, but insert Will Levis, insert a couple other guys. Your guy who you'll talk about later, so I'll save his name. But there are quarterbacks coming out. You got to get yourself a quarterback. And whether he doesn't happen next year, and he starts for you the following year, you still have to get yourself a quarterback, kind of like Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. He waited a year, then he comes up. I just want to address something quick. The man said, you don't have to worry about Ben Johnson going anywhere, man. You don't get offered head coaching jobs as an offensive coordinator that has 4 wins. You don't get offered jobs like that, no matter how good your offense was in the first start of the season. When you're not winning, Kevin O'Connell, he was only offensive coordinator 1 year for the Los Angeles Rams, but what did they do in that 1 year? They won the whole damn thing. So don't worry about Ben Johnson going anywhere, because you got to win games to get a head coach opportunity.
But you heard the national guys at the beginning of this season keep saying that this guy is something special.
And where
Dan
they
Orlovsky.
And where they at now?
Look at their schemes. Look at this. That's because last week they threw in a bump. They threw in a bad game.
You want to know how you stay bad longer, too? Josh Paschal, 2nd round. Levi Onwuzurike, 2nd round. DeAndre Swift, 2nd round. Great player, missed 40% of the games this year. He cannot stay healthy. He's an injured player.
He's missed 60% of his games in 2 years, 3 years.
Until he wants to play consistently, I have no use for him. No, sorry. Jelani Tavai, Kerryon Johnson, Tease Tabor, A'Shawn Robinson, Amir Abdullah. These are your 2nd-round picks. Kyle Van Noy since 2014.
Not one of them is on the team, stuck on the team.
Not
one.
These are your 2nd-round picks.
And you can go 3rd and 4th round, too.
No, forget about that.
Only one of them is in the NFL.
I'm just talking about the 2nd round since 2014. Kyle Van Noy, Amir Abdullah, A'Shawn Robinson, Tease Tabor, Kerryon Johnson, Jelani Tavai, DeAndre Swift, Levi Onwuzurike, and Josh Paschal. That's how you stay a crappy organization and a crappy football.
You know the great thing about that?
Place football team.
You know the great thing about that? You just went through 4 different GMs. Just think about that. That's not a Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell.
Right.
That's not a Quinn
Those are your
Trisha thing.
second-round
That's
picks.
4 different GMs. You know what that tells me? There's only one person that's been the same. And I don't want to get back and forth about the owner and what she's done and what the Lions traditionally have done. But there's only one thing that has not changed in the time period that you told me, and as the owner of the Detroit Lions. That's it.
I don't know what else you could say about it, guys.
I got nothing.
I got nothing either. So we'll go around the NFL.
Right, but
and get
sometimes less is more.
Some college football next, too. Actually, let's change up to the college game, because I got the upset of the weekend for you. Or do you want to do NFL still? What do you want to do?
This is your show. What do you want to do?
I want to talk about some college football.
Let's talk about some college football.
We'll do it next. Folding Warehouse.
Yes, sir. The Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. 2 ways to play Folding.
The Lions are making me really ill.
I see it.
I'm having too good of a day to talk about the Lions today.
Bowling and football put together. We call it Folding. 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. You get it for 2 hours. Run you $120, but you can put 10 or 12 people on a lane. Multiple full bars so you can have any drink that your heart desires. Over 100 beers to offer, and the $2 mystery beer machine. Bring your own food in, have it delivered. Plenty of room to stretch out and have a great time. Get your fold on. Check it out at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries. What will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Hey everybody, it's Maz for Planet Fitness. JB's got no camera today, so you're looking at me. Planet Fitness is offering $1 down, $10 a month from now until October the 14th. That's closing in. So you better act fast. Join today in club or online at planetfitness.com. Woodward Sports will be there live. Planet Fitness on Ryan Road in Sterling Heights all day, Wednesday the 26th of October. Win prizes like Michigan State tickets, and plus you get a free 1-year membership with a black card to Planet Fitness. A signed D-Mac jersey. How about a signed Braylon Edwards jersey?
The hell with that Braylon jersey. I get a D-Mac jersey?
You can.
Man. I'm in
it's up
on
to
it.
you.
I'm in
Just
on
get
it.
the Planet Fitness. Do it now.
Guys, this is a huge weekend in college football, the kind of weekend that you just live for, right? I mean, you've got top 10 matchup, Michigan and Penn State. You've got Tennessee and Alabama, 3 versus 6. Oklahoma State and TCU, 8 versus 13. How about USC? Are they for real? On the road at Utah, 7 versus 20. This is that week. Hell, Syracuse and NC State, a top 25 matchup, top 20 matchup, number 18 and number 15. These are the weeks in college football that you just love. Before I get to Michigan, I just want to say Tennessee's beating Alabama this week. Hendon Hooker in Tennessee, Josh Heupel, they are doing some special things down there. Do not sleep on this kid for the Heisman Trophy. Do not sleep on Hendon Hooker and the Tennessee Volunteers as the SEC champion. They might just win it and move on to the college football playoff. High on Tennessee. Josh Heupel, Hendon Hooker.
Who's home?
Tennessee.
Tennessee's home. They're at Neyland Stadium. You definitely hit the nail on the head, and you've been on Hendon Hooker since before the season started. I will give you your credit on that. But what they're doing, They're not just some flash in the pants. They're doing it on every level. The offensive line has been amazing for Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker has been amazing running the ball as well as being efficient in the passing game. Being on the defensive side, oh, man, these guys are active. Remind me somewhat of Georgia's defense last year. Not as stacked, but they're really damn good, led by Byron Young, a guy that has 14 tackles and 3.5 sacks in his last 3 games. So you're talking about a team that's ready to play. And you look on the other side of the ball in Alabama. Listen, we talked about, and I said it, Alabama, yeah, they're number 1 team. They're going to be Alabama, etc. But this isn't the same type of Alabama team that you've seen the year before. Even last year, Alabama had some holes, and I think you're looking at a new Alabama team. When they have the Heisman Trophy winner in Bryce Young, well, yeah, Bryce Young can mask some things much like K9 did for Michigan State. But when you don't have Bryce Young and you have Milroe in at quarterback, Milroe's a hell of a talent, and maybe somewhere down the line he'll be an effective quarterback. But right now he's a guy who's just running. He's basically dropping back and he's taking off like we're playing at the cafeteria and it's lunchtime. He's playing backyard, schoolyard football. That's not going to beat teams like Tennessee. Josh Heupel won the national championship of Oklahoma in 2000. He also finished second in the Heisman Trophy. You're talking about a guy that slipped under the radar. Now here he is in everybody's face.
And make no mistake, whether Bryce Young plays or not, I still believe Tennessee is going to win, even if Bryce Young plays that football game. Guys,
just saying it looks a lot different.
Absolutely. Yeah. Michigan, a 7-point favorite against Penn State. I don't want to say it like this. Michigan's going to blow them out. This is not even going to be close. Penn State, James Franklin, this football team is a fugazi, Penn State. I don't like them at all. I don't like their coach. I think they're doing it with smoke and mirrors, and I think this is the one game here where people say Michigan hasn't played anybody. We don't know what Michigan is yet. I think Michigan is going to come out, play their best football game, Braylon, and I think they're going to pound them. I'm talking like 3 touchdowns.
I hope that's the case. Penn State's always an iffy game, especially in the last 5 years. Penn State has been a very strong opponent. They've been good. Look, I don't necessarily like James Franklin in terms of him in big games, but I love him as a recruiter. He's not an X's and O guys. Reminds me of a name that I hear here in Detroit that coaches the Detroit Lions. He's a big recruiter, not necessarily X and O's, but he has the right guys at the position. Sean Clifford is a quarterback. He was supposed to be damn good last year. Got hurt, finished off average. So how is he going to be? They got a running back that is mean as I don't know what hell in Nicholson, and then also on the defensive ball, you got a linebacker, which their linebacker you over the years. It's going to be a tough fall game. I hate to disagree with my guy, but I don't see 21. I see Michigan eking out a 4-point win, one which they will control the last 3 possessions, but 4-point win for Michigan.
Yeah, they might cover the 7, right? Barely. But I remember last year, man, it took them to the middle of almost the end of the game.
It was the end of the game.
To hit that long pass. That was it, Eric Hall?
Eric Hall.
I mean, Cade McNamara
tough playing
found
at
him.
that place, though.
That was tough playing them, but they're the same team, basically. Michigan has lost more players than they have. They lost John Dotson, but, you know.
They added 2 running backs. They added a linebacker. You're right, man.
I don't think it's a blowout. I don't. I think Michigan, the number 7, and it's against the number 10 team in the country. If the spread's 7, it's telling me, they want you to take Penn State in the 7. So I'll take Michigan and lay the 7, and they might win by 10.
While we're talking about college football, let's take a step back and have some fun. Talking about college football. There was a coach that left a team that had a chance to win a playoff last year, and he left in the middle of the night. It's very sneaky how this guy did it. And then he shows up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shows up down there, and he's showing up with a whole new accent. He's from Connecticut, mind you. He shows up with "This is for the family," and then he tries to sing the fight song on the field and embarrass himself yet again. Brian Kelly's not done embarrassing himself, and I've got it on consignment and friends that I know that no one down there is happy with Brian Kelly. He's not winning games that he could win. He's not even looking like a head coach in terms of the program. The program is a disarray. Now, we do understand that Ed Ogeron left that program a mess. It was a mess. So we have to give Brian Kelly, a guy who has proven some time.
He always wins.
But 100%, whether it was in Grand Valley, whether it was Cincinnati, it doesn't matter. He always wins. But when people don't like you, when people are off the top saying, you know what, I don't think we're right about this guy. And this is before the season started because of his antics. And now during the season, people are saying, they're like, the players don't vibe, the players don't gel. I'm just saying watch out for that situation because he'll get the rest of this year. But next year is going to be a very pivotal for Brian Kelly in year 2 of his contract. A guy that's, I think, signed a 10-year deal. So watch out for next year with Brian Kelly.
I hate to say I told you.
You called that one.
But I just round peg square hole Brian Kelly down there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just it feels like a Rich Rod to Michigan.
What's
situation?
Their record?
1-4, or 2-4.
They lost that heartbreaker to Florida State.
Yeah,
they lost that game down at the goal line. They could have won that one.
LSU's 4-1.
I mean, God, man,
they're bad.
Their first year.
They're bad football.
Yeah.
No, they're 4-2.
It's 4-2.
No, they're 4-2. They lost to Florida State and Tennessee. They got blown out by Tennessee. They haven't played anybody though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they haven't played anybody. They lost to the 2 teams they played.
When you got 4,
Southern Mississippi State, New Mexico, and Auburn. Auburn's terrible. We saw Penn State blow out Auburn.
When you have 4 wins against, I take it back. When you're 4-2, and no one on your team respects you or like you, that's a problem. When you're 4-2 and your players don't want to play for you, that's a problem. Here's what's going to be really interesting, and we can get off this case.
They'll be 8-4 this year.
Guess who they play this year? They play Florida. Guess who's Florida head coach is? Billy Napier. Guess where Billy Napier was last year? He was at Louisiana Tech, which means he was in the same state as LSU, and LSU passed on him to go get Brian Kelly. Watch Florida beat the brakes off of LSU this week.
Something about Brian Kelly doesn't fit at LSU to me, and we'll let it play out, obviously, but it just feels like a Rich Rodriguez situation that, you come to Michigan, you're a good football coach. I think Rich Rodriguez is a good football coach, didn't fit at Michigan.
I agree.
Brian Kelly, really good football coach. I just don't think there are those places that really fit your style and fit your personality, and I think that's one of them. I want to get your thoughts on Michigan State, Braylon. We'll do it next. Hosting Wisconsin, the Badgers, a 7.5-point favorite in this one. It is homecoming as well, so a lot of people are going to be there at this game. I want to get your take on that. We'll do it next, but first a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Got to make a plan. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford has also over 300 pre-owned cars on their lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some with less than 500 miles on them. So they're like new. For more, visit LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Maz for Alta.
Alta Uptime.
At Alta, Uptime matters. Alta Equipment's got everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project, well, Alta Rental is the place for you. They got you covered. So give them a call today, 844-GO, the number 2, Alta. That's 844-GO-2, Alta.
Good job, Tom Mazawey. Hey, I hate doing this because there's no camera in JB. What is that hat you're wearing?
HR, it stands for a head rush.
Oh, okay.
It's a MMA fighting company.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I didn't know if it was like human resources or something like that.
No.
JB spends a lot of money on his wardrobe.
I mean, JB is my guy, man. I love this guy. He's one of the coolest cats out there, man.
What kind of hat is that? You got a snapback or is that a full cap? What is that?
It's a snapback.
So you're a snapback guy? Fletch likes a snapback?
Don't be trying to steal my boy, man. Y'all trying to steal my boy from me. So the brothers got to stick together, man.
One family.
The brothers got to stick together.
I'm a brother.
All right,
Come on,
All right,
man.
this is real. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come
I'm
on,
sorry.
man.
What happened to me? I'm a brother.
It's okay to have a bad take.
We could be family.
Come on, man. You big unk, man. You everybody's brother, man. You big unk.
Oh, God. Hey, before we get into Michigan State, big noon kickoff again in Ann Arbor this week. Fourth straight
Would
time.
you look at that?
Fourth straight time, Michigan.
Why is Michigan always on?
Well, you
Look at
know
that.
why?
Go ahead.
Because
Greg.
everybody's always watching. Once again, Big Noon Kickoff has the biggest show, watching the game, which was Indiana and Michigan. 4,000,000 viewers during the game. I myself was one of them. When I sit back and watch and I'm trying to figure this out, I'm like, because I asked Brady, and Brady told me, simply put, Michigan is a great product. Michigan's a great
Gus
brand.
Johnson said the same thing.
But you know what it is Michigan has something for everybody. No matter where I go in this country, no matter what team I play for, no matter if it was with the Jets, people want to talk about Michigan, whether you love them or hate them. New York is one of the rare places that actually does love Michigan. Whether I was in Cleveland,
That's how I grew up.
Obviously, you know what? Exactly. See, and where were you at? New Jersey,
case.
New York. Whether I was in San Fran, they had something to say about Michigan. Whether I was in Seattle, they had something to say about Michigan. Whether you love them or hate them, and most people hate them, people still want to watch Michigan lose, and some want to watch them win. Michigan has something for everybody. They have tradition. They have a brand. They have a championship with no S. They got championship. They got Heisman Trophy winners. Like, it's a brand. They have something for rich people, poor people. It does not matter. Michigan has something for everybody that's watching, whether it's Coke Classics like the Fab Five and Desmond Howard, whatever it is, Michigan has something for everybody. They're the #1 brand, simply put.
You know what they got the most of? They got the most recognizable
logo
helmet.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the most recognizable
This is true.
helmet in all of sports, and the Cowboys. Put those two together. Those are the two most recognizable helmets in football.
And look, right? I mean, you only have so many games to choose from because I think one of the things that Big Noon Kickoff has done is it has really limited themselves to their own games, to the Fox games. We've seen College Game Day go to a game no matter where it's played. I don't know where game day is this week, but I assume that they're going to be at Tennessee and Alabama. I don't know where they are, but Tennessee and Alabama is a CBS game. But Big Noon Kickoff is limiting themselves to their own Fox games and their Fox noon games. What game can we put on at noon that we think will get the biggest ratings? And that is Michigan.
Yeah.
That is Michigan. And you see by those numbers we just showed you, up double digits, a Michigan-Indiana game.
Yeah.
This isn't Michigan-Penn State or Michigan-Michigan State or Michigan-Ohio State. Michigan-Indiana. And Indiana's not even good. Up double digits from 2021 a year ago. Come on. If that doesn't tell the story, I don't know what does. This, by the way, is a for-profit business.
Yeah.
They're trying to make money. They're trying to get the most eyeballs on their network for their pregame show that is possible. And I'm sorry, Kansas TCU just doesn't cut it.
By the way, Kansas jinxed. And they lose that game, and they lose their quarterback in that game for the rest of the year.
But by the way,
which sucks.
that game on FS1 was the most watched FS1 game in 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wins all around for that network, Fox.
Poor Kansas.
Doing great stuff. Braylon, I mentioned Michigan State. Want your take?
Why? Why'd you mention that?
Because, look, they're in danger of losing 7 in a row here. And I don't think anybody envisioned that when the season started. I'm talking, they've already lost 4 in a row. Now they go Wisconsin and then back-to-back games against ranked teams, Michigan and Illinois. This thing could get ugly quickly. This is, to me, a must-win for the soul of the program.
Yeah.
They've got to win this.
Yeah, you know, and for much as people talk about Wisconsin not being a good team this year, I mean, you look at them so far. Yeah, they got blown out by Ohio State. They blew out New Mexico State. They blew out Northwestern. They got mopped by Illinois. So you're seeing there's a team that is inconsistent. They're a team that can score some points, but they're a team that struggles. But you know where this is a good opportunity for Michigan State, and this is a very good opportunity for Mel Tucker to kind of say Tuck coming or try to show some relevance of that, is because Wisconsin is a brand. Whether Wisconsin's losing or winning, Wisconsin is a big name school. They are a brand, and over the past 20 years, Wisconsin has been consistent at 8 to 9 wins, and then under Paul Chryst, who just got fired, they've been floating around 10 to 11 every year. to get a win over them, it doesn't matter what their record is this year. They're still Wisconsin. They're coming to your school. You got to win this game if you're Mel Tucker. Like, I don't believe in must-win games, but if you win this game, it's like, whew, this game is one of those games that can buy you into the end of the year because you got a hellified schedule coming up. This is a huge game for Michigan State.
Take the logo off the helmet. Wisconsin. Okay? Because all those things you said about Wisconsin are true. But I'm trying to strip that away and talk about the actual football team that is coming to East Lansing this week. They're playing a football team that is 3-3, 1-2 in the Big Ten. So bad, perceived so bad that they fired their head coach.
A winning coach.
They fired him because of how bad their season has gone. They are coming to your place, and they're a touchdown plus favorite at Michigan State.
And that's supposed to be a homecoming easy game.
If this doesn't say how far your program has fallen in 12 months, I don't know what does. Take that W, take that logo off your helmet, man. You're a 3-3 football team, 1-2 in the Big Ten, fired your coach, and you're still a 7.5-point underdog against them.
If they don't win this game, they are not going to make a bowl at all. Impossible.
Well, I don't think they're getting there anyway. But
well, no, listen. If they win this game, then they could maybe beat Rutgers at the end of the year. And who's their last game?
Indiana.
Illinois.
So their remaining games: Wisconsin, at Michigan, at Illinois, Rutgers, Indiana, at Penn State.
I got.
So they could beat Rutgers, Indiana.
Where's the hot take button? I won't even get. No, I don't want it. I don't want our fans to get used to hearing that noise. I want it to come out when it's supposed to come out. Because this ain't no hot take. Michigan State wins one game the rest of the year.
Rutgers.
Michigan State wins one game the rest of the year. I'm not giving them Indiana. I'm giving them Rutgers. They won one game the rest of the year.
Don't give them Rutgers.
Yeah, Greg Schiano got them boys.
Don't give them Rutgers.
Which I ain't giving them Indiana. Them boys are hit.
Well, they're not going to win.
Indiana is physical.
They're finished then. They're finished.
That's not a hot take. That's just the truth.
No doubt. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to watching that game. No doubt about it.
Did you guys watch the Pistons at all last night?
A little bit. Not much.
Just a little bit.
Our guys in the back, they are just all about it.
Yeah, I can't watch preseason basketball.
From the jump to the end.
They got a cool podcast they do too, man. Woodward Pistons. You got Jeff Iafredi's on there. Rob Beard, friend of the show, is on there as well. Sean Murphy's on as well. And Kool-Aid. My man Kool-Aid, nice podcast they do. Check it out, man. Woodward Pistons, nice podcast they do once a week.
I will say some Pistons news. Good news on Marvin Bagley today. A bone bruise and a sprained MCL. Could have been a lot worse for him. Out 3 to 4 weeks. Thank goodness it is not season ending. I think everybody was braced for the worst, but they got the best possible news. He'll be out 3 to 4 weeks.
People were on Killian Hayes last night saying how good he looks, how different he looks, how more positive he looks. So that would be great if you could get something out of that kid.
I'm excited for the Pistons. I still feel they're a year away from contending for the playoff. Really excited for the Red Wings this year.
Who's the dump? Who's the kid they all want to dump for now?
Going back to Marvin Bagley.
What's his name? He's supposed to be the
Going
guy.
back to Marvin Bagley III. That's good to know. And it also allows Jalen Duren to get a little playing time in there early to get him some main minutes early on in that game. I mean, early on in the year. 3 to 4 weeks, not bad at all. He'll be back. They'll take the time. But Jalen Duren is somebody I'd be interested in seeing come in and playing some minutes when he's out.
We'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience. Register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Odds
OddsTrader.com is the number one site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price from every game from multiple sports. But the best thing about OddsTrader is when you go to the site, they give you your stats you need to know so they can help your parlays out, so it can help your bets out. You try and put a little cash in your pocket, a little bit of that moolah, the green stuff, go to OddsTrader.com because simply put, they are the best.
So much to talk about, so little time. WoodwardSports.com, WoodwardSports.com chat. Tom Mazawey, we go around the NFL.
Yes, sir. We'll start it off with a name that's been in the news since the summer. His name is Brett Favre.
Ooh.
And not in a good way. But Brett Favre
is it ever?
Has said that his name has been smeared. And it's time to set the record straight here, right?
What did he say about it?
He basically said that anything that you've said about me is not true. I did not steal from Mississippi's welfare. I was just there. My lawyers were working on this with me. All my people were telling me everything was on the up and up. All I wanted was to help my university, which was Southern Mississippi. Now his daughter plays volleyball there, and supposedly most of the money from that supposed former Mississippi governor that helped him was going to help to build this new volleyball
Here's
court.
the quote. No one ever told me, and I didn't know, that funds designated for welfare recipients were going to the university or me. I tried to help my alma mater, a public Mississippi State University, raise funds for a wellness center. My goal was and always will be to improve the athletic facilities at my university. I was told that the legal work to ensure that these funds could be accepted by the university was done by state attorneys and state employees. That was a quote from Brett Favre on the criticism of his alleged role in this Mississippi welfare fraud scandal.
I also saw a quote text that said, "Are you sure we're not going to get in trouble for this?" And there you go. That's all I have to say about that.
There you go. Could mean a lot of different things.
Not with somebody that consistently gets accused of being a dirtbag.
Right.
No. When you consistently get accused of being a dirtbag and you see a quote like that, you know what he's talking about. You know what time it is, Ermanni.
You know who's back in practice today? Tua Tagovailoa. That's right. He is back. He's throwing. He's not going to play in this week's game, but at least he's back there on the field. Skylar Thompson will start against the Vikings.
Tom Pelissero, too, has consulted with 4 independent specialists, including the top sports concussion neurologist and the top neuropsychologist. His rehab work increased over the weekend to include cardio and strength training. Today's return to the field is the next step in that protocol. We certainly wish him the best.
If you're not going to sit out the whole season, then this makes sense because it's not going to be any different between this week, him starting, or if he starts 4 weeks from now. The injury that we saw him suffer, him hitting his head and him getting up and being wobbly in days, it's not going to change from this week to 4 weeks. So if you're not planning on sitting out, I have no problem with him coming back and throwing. He also talked to 4 doctors, so I myself, I hope he's talked to the 4 right doctors. But if you're not going to play this, if you're not going to sit out the whole season, then it doesn't matter if you come back this year or 4 weeks from now.
Right.
You know what? The guy plays in a combat sport.
Yeah.
If he thinks he's coming back and he's not going to get concussed again, he's kidding himself. I mean, you heard what the doctor said from the concussion movie. I forgot his name. Excuse me. But he said...
Will Smith.
Will Smith, yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Will Smith.
Dr. Will
Please
Smith.
retire Tua. So if he doesn't want to do it, he can go the way, and God forbid he doesn't become Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon fighting every day to keep his memory intact.
A lot of it too, and you know, no one ever talked about this because it was, you know, it's so graphic and watching. I mean, I've seen it a million times. We've seen it a million times in watching prize fights. You've seen it as long as you watch football. You've seen it happen before. One of the big things that happened too that no one talks about is how fast he got off the ground. It's how fast his teammate helped him up. That's one of the biggest things. When you get knocked out and your equilibrium, your medulla's off, when you get up quick, you're disoriented, and that's what you're going to see. If he would have laid on the ground a little longer and relaxed and took time with that, he probably wouldn't have stumbled like that. But he got up so fast, yeah, your equilibrium is still gone at that moment. So it looks a lot worse than maybe it was.
He's still concussed, though.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Hey, Bill Belichick, he is not he's telling the press, no, they asked him, if Mac Jones is healthy and Bailey Zappi is healthy, is Mac Jones getting his job back? Bill Belichick remains non-committal on
He did
that.
not slam the door on that. He didn't, which says a lot, according to Pro Football Talk. Hey, Bill Belichick has been in this spot before, right? Injury is how Tom Brady took that job and ran with it. Maybe he likes what Bailey Zappi's doing.
Matt Castle.
They're winning games.
Isn't that something?
They're winning games. They were not winning games with Mac Jones.
I will say this. Mac Jones was drafted number 1 2 years ago. And what did he do this year? He drafts Bailey Zappi in the 4th round. I'm just telling you, smart people, smart football people will always draft a quarterback just in case.
Yeah, 2 things about this. One, this isn't really the quarterback controversy I want to talk about. I can't wait to get to Dak and Cooper. But finishing up with this one is look, Mac Jones, like, we never thought Mac Jones was the guy at Alabama. We knew he had Jerry Jeudy. We knew he had Calvin Ridley. We knew he had Davante Smith. We knew he had all these wide receivers, just like A.J. McCarron. Nobody was drafting A.J. McCarron in the 1st round. Nobody was drafting Greg McElroy in the 1st round. These quarterbacks are guys that have the bevy of, they have the luxury, to play with a bevy of talent around them at the running back, tight end, offensive line, and receiver position. So Mac Jones is a byproduct of tons of talent in Alabama.
He won last year.
You said what?
He won last year.
And that defense, how good was that defense? 9 games?
I know, but that's what a team is.
9 in a row?
He's a first-year guy, and he's winning.
Yeah, but even in last year when he was winning, nothing about him was special. Like, yeah, he made a couple throws here and there, but it wasn't him leading. It wasn't anything special. We talked about the defense and him being an excellent manager. That's what you saw. That's all I was saying.
Hey, Kayvon Thibodeau's leading all defensive rookies right now in quarterback pressures. There's your guy.
Shocking. Who did I tell you guys to draft with the 2nd pick overall?
Hey,
I think this 5-game situation. I want more from Aiden Hutchinson. I'm just not making a determination on it.
It's not about making a determination. It's about me using my knowledge as a former football player about what I saw during the season last year for both of these guys and what I saw silly to be. What did I tell you? I said, I'm taking Kayvon. I see the ceiling for Aiden Hutchinson, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody blew me off. It's like, oh, this is the guy.
We bet on Thibodeau to be picked by the Lions.
I'm saying everybody.
We lost.
When I say everybody, I'm not talking about you too. Okay. I'm talking about everybody outside of WoodwardSports.com.
Well,
everybody blew me off. Oh, he's the guy that hates Michigan.
Well, it's just hard because we never even saw Thibodeau play. He set out his entire. I mean, never even saw him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a million workout warriors at the combine. I didn't see Kayvon Thibodeau, so I don't know. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that strongly about him.
Well, you did see the season last year in which Aiden Hutchinson might not have been the best player on his team on the defensive side. It was David Ojabo.
It just goes to show you, though, what having that person on the other side can do for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? True. And maybe that's what Pascal can do for Aiden Hutchinson.
Hey, did you guys realize that last year's Super Bowl teams, the Bengals and Rams, each have a losing record? It's the 3rd time that has happened in the NFL through 5 games. 3rd time. And they're the other ones.
88, 99, and 22.
That's it.
Look at that.
That was called the Super Bowl hangover.
Wow. Well, 1999, that's called everybody on that damn team was 20 years old. 20 seasons in and retired. Like Elway retired, Neil Smith retired, Shannon Sharp left, Terrell Davis had migraines. Everybody left that 99 Broncos team.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, great stuff there. Hey, great show today, gang. Bray, get us out of here.
Hell of a show, man. Great to have my man Brian and Sherry in the studio. Yes. Good to see you guys over there. Appreciate you for coming. JV killing it over there as well as Fletch. Good stuff to talk about. The Detroit Lions, man. We keep talking about this round and around we go. What is Dan Campbell going to do? What is Brad Holmes going to do in the offseason? We'll figure it out. Maz, Ryan. Good show, man.
Good job.
Good show, man.
Big show. Tomorrow's Thursday. Looking forward to a top 10 Thursday.
Oh, I got one ready right now.
Good one.
Should I tease it?
No.
Say less.
Just wait. Top 10 Thursday, and then we'll finish out the week on Friday. Clearly,
Brady on Friday.
No, Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn
Friday.
We got to put him on our payroll now.
You got it. All right, everybody.
Hey, look, we'll see you. We'll see you.
Do I just go? I'm not going to drop. Go. All right. Go ahead.
2, 1.
Oh, my God. Go. Oh, jeez. Oh, my. Oh. This isn't right. I don't get paid enough for this.